What's going on? Listen, I want to share this moment. You can always watch it later. I'm on my lunch break at work, and I just had a moment that I felt was so fitting to share for for my viewers and for those who may be in business, entrepreneurship. Maybe you got a gift, maybe you got a talent, maybe something you're inspiring to do. I was in class today just teaching, and we're wrapping up for today. And one of my students was like, I am looking for a job, and me teaching business, entrepreneurship, career tech stuff. I help kids find jobs if they need them because I have networking within the community, all that good stuff. But my one student was like, I need a job. And and they began to give me some breakdown. Well, I don't have my social security number. I don't have my birth certificate. I don't have the things that I need to apply for a job or to get it because they're going to ask for that information. And then I began to think, I said, hold on. I said, your job is using your hands. And I remember my student had told me that they're a braider. They're a braider. And they also told me that they're good at baking. And when I had that moment, like, hold on, your actual job, your actual business is the use of your hands. In other words, and I asked the person, I said, we gave you some paper documentation that you can turn into the state and that will license you or legalize you to braid hair. And you can work in salons because this is your license. And I began to tell the student, like, you don't need to work for a Chick-fil-A. You don't need to work for anybody. You can work for yourself. We've actually given you a gift because you have a gift. And if you just use your God-given gift and turn it as documentation, you can use your gift, which is your hands, to work. And I said, not only can you braid, but you also can bake. I said, you won't have to work for anybody. You just have to know how to perfect your craft, perfect your gift, and you already have a business. It's your hands. And so what am I saying? The purpose of this quick video, this inspirational moment is, the Bible talks about the gifts of God are given without the gifts, and the calling of God is given out repentance. And so whether you believe in God or not, whether you accept Christ or not, listen, everybody is gifted. Everybody has a talent. Everybody has something to use. And so the point that I'm making is I told my student that I said, listen, you don't have to work for nobody. All you have to do is braid hair. All you have to do is bake. Your business is it's in your hands. Use what God has given you. He's given you a gift to braid hair and to do different designs with hair. And we've given you a gift that all you got to do is mail out the gift, and you will be a licensed braider in the state of Ohio, and all you got to do is just braid hair. You don't have to work for nobody. You can work for yourself. And then I said, you're also a baker. So what I'm saying is, a lot of the gifts that we have is already in our hands. We have to use what God has given us. This young lady was looking for a job, and she already had a business, and all she had to do is just use her hands. Use what God has given you, and that can be the money that you make. I know we get in the custom of looking for a job or looking to work for somebody. And I get it that everybody don't know what their gifts are. They don't know where to start. And so they'll start working for a business or whatever the case may be until they find out that niche that they have to work in. But oftentimes, the very money maker, the very game changer for us is just use your hands. Use the God-given gift that God has given you. And she had a God-given gift because she's good at baking cakes and pies, and she's good at braiding hair. And I said, you have everything you need. And we've given you, and we're giving you what you need to make it happen. But then also, I'm imparting into you the things that you can do to start your bakery business. And so oftentimes we look to work for people, and our actual gift is in our hands. God has already given it to us. We just have to use it. And we have talents and gifts and dreams and aspirations and all this kind of stuff. And we never use what God has given us. And so I just want to encourage somebody today. You know, a lot of you're looking everywhere to do certain things, and oftentimes you don't have to look everywhere. Oftentimes it's right in your hands. It's right in your hands. And we'll look everywhere, we'll ask everybody instead of actually looking within or looking at what I'm already good at and gifted at to use. And so I just want to encourage somebody, stop looking around. Look within yourself. Look at the God given gifts that you have. Use what God has given you to help change your life, and it's going to change somebody else's life. When you use what God has given you, it's going to change your life, it's going to change your future, and then it's also going to change somebody else's life and can possibly change their future because you're actually using what God has given you. And so I just want to encourage my audience, feel free to share, copy the link, whatever you need to do. Listen, what you have is already in your hands. What you have is already in your heart. What you have has already been on your mind. And all you have to do is use what God has given you. Listen, use what God has given you. You don't have to search high and low. And some of us we put ourselves through so much, not realizing what God has already given us. And so there was a short story, and I'm a wrap up here. There's a short story in the Bible, and it talks about a widow woman, and her husband has died, and the prophet, asked her. He asked her. He said, what do you have in your house? And she said, all I have is a little crew of oil, just a little bit of oil. And she didn't even understand the value of the oil that she has. And oftentimes we don't understand our value, we don't understand our worth, we don't understand that what we have is already within us. And because we're so used to looking down on ourselves and not understanding our value or our worth, we will overlook the very thing that we already have that we could be using to help change our life, to help change somebody else's life. So listen, be encouraged. Use what God has given you. If you don't know what God has given you, listen, seek it out. A lot of you have a gift and you don't even use it. A lot of you have a talent and you don't even use it. So listen, be encouraged. Use what God has given you. Use it because it's going to benefit you. It's going to benefit the next generation. It's going to benefit your life. And so use what God has given you. That's my encouragement today. Use what God has given you. Be encouraged. Feel free to share. I hope this blessed you.